Hello, and let's get started for today. I'm just going to start with your standard shape, whatever it is you like to use. Sorry, my camera stand is in the way here. I have to move around. Alright, so now we're going to draw some wavy lines in any direction. I'm going to happen to make mine diagonal. You can make yours go straight up and down or whatever you want to do, but they should be wavy. And the wavelengths should all be different. Now you do the same thing in the opposite direction, so you do them perpendicular to the first set of lines. It should be wavy like that. And you can have some of the waves be pretty wavy if you want them to. It's up to you. Alright, so then in any box, wherever you want to start, you're going to draw straight lines, ones that go straight down to the whatever box. So mine goes diagonal. I'm going to draw mine straight to the bottom right corner. If your wavy lines go across or whatever, you're going to draw yours straight to the top or the bottom, whichever way you want to draw them, or the left or the right. You're not going to go sideways or whatever. So these lines that I'm drawing are very close together. They're not touching, of course, but they are very close together. I would recommend that for this section, for this these other boxes here that we're doing the lines in, that you do go ahead and make them pretty close together. It's part of the pattern, so you can try it however you want, but I recommend that you make them pretty close. So you're basically, as you can see, going to do like a checkerboard pattern. So these straight lines should be in every other box to create kind of a checkerboard board look. Don't forget that they should go straight up and down. So you have like this wavy piece here. If it runs through the line, you don't want to make your lines in here wavy. They should be straight. Alright, so that looks very cool, very Alice in Wonderland-y, I guess. So now in the center of these other boxes, you're going to basically trace the shape that you originally drew. So it's going to be wavy like that, so it's going to have all these points, and you're just going to do concentric boxes in here, but these should follow the waves. Normally I would make these, when I was actually drawing another time I should say, I would make the actual spacing between the boxes a little bit more than what I have drawn here, because it kind of gets lost. You can kind of tell it sort of blends in a little bit too much. So when you draw yours, I recommend that you make it a little bit more white space around your boxes. So maybe make the boxes a little bit further apart from each other. And again, these don't touch. I'm just tracing the shape over and over and following the wavy pattern until I get to the center. Of course, not every single box is going to be completely wavy, but you want to follow whatever shape you originally drew. So something just like that. You can kind of see how mine kind of get lost a little bit because I made my lines too close in the box sections. So maybe spread them out just a little bit more. It makes it look a little bit, I don't know, stand out a little bit more. So on the second one, I'm going to start out drawing it a little bit different. So this one's actually going to be coming off the side. And I'm going to draw a straight line with kind of a little tip on it, a little triangle tip. So it should go straight out, and then it will draw a little triangle at the edge. Now what you can do is you can just draw the lines, all the lines that you want. So I'm going to make them a little bit longer. So I'm just going to kind of go through. My spacing is about the same. They're not perfectly straight, but they're pretty close. And they're just going to go across like that. Now I'm going to go back and put the tips, or the triangle tips, the point tips on each one. Like this one here, I have to extend the side line to be able to put the tip on there. So you may have to do that. But just go ahead. You don't want all the little pencils to be the same length. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you want that. I don't know that. How we're drawing them today, they're all different lengths. So you may have to extend the side of one of them before. And this one kind of goes off here, so you only see a little bit. So you can kind of see that it looks already like pencil. So now I'm going to draw kind of an arch line from the edge of the tip to the edge of the tip, which is wherever the triangle starts. It's just a little arch line to make that sharpened section of the pencil. Then you're going to go back and you're going to color in just the little tip to make the lead or the whatever it is that you have. If you're drawing colored pencils, you can color the tip in whatever color your pencil will be. I'm just going to do all mine black, of course. Alright, so now that I have all the tips on, I'm going to go ahead and draw different pencil lines. So it kind of comes right off the tip. And they can be solid. You can make them kind of dashed, like your pencil's not working quite right. You can have them be, like this one, have just a little tip there. You can have them be sort of wavy or zigzaggy, whatever it is that you want. Just draw your little pencil tips all the way across, like the pencils have been dragged across the paper and have left a line behind. this top one up here I won't see, so I'm going to skip that part. Alright, so you can do a lot of fun things. That's essentially the design right there, but you can change it up. So I'm going to grab my colored pencils. And there's lots of them in here because my kids love colored pencils. So I'm just going to grab some colors and I'm going to color mine in. You don't have to, you can skip this part. Or you can add designs to your pencils. You can make them gray, you can color the pencil, piece itself. You can color that in gray or black or whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to color mine in just for fun to show you what it looks like. Of course, like I said before, if you're going to color your pencils in different colors, you might want to do the actual pencil lines in the color that you've done your pencil in. So obviously you want to think about that if you're going to color them in before you draw your little pencil lines on the right or whatever side yours are on. Because I would want to go over them and it look kind of silly, so I'm just going to leave mine black for now, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's all colored in. So there you have it. So you can mix and match, you can do whatever it is you want, you can add designs to your pencils themselves, whatever it is you want. So I'm just going to get these pencils out of the way here. And then we'll go ahead and on our third one. So the second Thursday of September is apparently the National School Picture Day. So we're going to go ahead and make a yearbook page. So I'm just going to do a box. This one's a little bit bigger than normal. I mean, maybe do this one a little bit bigger than normal for yourself. I'm going to use the thicker Sharpie. If you don't have a thicker Sharpie, you can just draw some double lines here that are pretty close together, and then color that in so it's thick. You want like a black background, so to speak. And they're going to be, you think about the size of a Polaroid, so you don't want them to be too small, but they don't have to be overly huge either, because the bigger you make them, the more detail you're going to have on your people. So mine are maybe a little bit more than a ½ inch apart, the white space I mean. So you can go with something about that size, maybe a little bit bigger if you want to, it's up to you. Or just draw less lines so you don't have to fill in the entire section. So those are the horizontal lines. I'm going to do the same thing going vertically. This first one here, I'm just going to put it wherever, because it's going to be kind of like a Polaroid picture cut in half on this side here. But then my next ones that I draw, I want to think about the white space, and you want to kind of have them to be mostly square, or approximately. Obviously you can see my lines are not perfectly straight, but something like that. These got a little close already, so you can just see that your Polaroid pieces will look a little bit different in size once you put the people in there, but kind of trying to get them as square, the white space itself, get them as square as you can. And you can make this black border bigger or whatever it is you want. This is just kind of what I'm drawing for now. So as I was saying, if you don't have the double marker, you just draw two lines that are kind of close together, and then go ahead and color them in for the horizontal and the perpendicular, or vertical lines, excuse me. So something like that, just normal, colored in sections. So I start on the bottom. The bottom line of a Polaroid is a little bit further up from the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw the bottoms first, because I tend to make them misshapen if I don't. And then I'm going to go put the top and the side lines on. So the bottom section of your Polaroid, the bottom border here, should be slightly wider than the sides. And the sides are pretty thin. So you kind of, I mean, that's what's going to make it look like a Polaroid picture. So I have these kind of half ones on the side here. I'm going to draw all the bottoms first so that they line up. And that's going to help it make it look kind of more yearbooky, I guess. So you won't see the tops of these, it's just going to be the side lines on these, because that's how I decided to draw it. If yours are full squares, you're going to have full borders on yours. Come down here and just keep going across the whole section. Make sure that that bottom border, the bottom white border, is a little bit thicker than the sides and the top. So something like that. So you can kind of see it looks like a bunch of stacked Polaroids. Now we're going to draw some people. So you're going to draw an arch, and then maybe a neck, and either an upside down U with some eyeballs and do your hair and all that stuff, or you can draw a full circle, however it is that you draw your stick people. These should be silly little stick people. Don't try to go crazy. You can do animals if you want instead. Don't try to go crazy with a bunch of detail. There just isn't enough room. But it's kind of like from armpits to the top of their hair. That's kind of what school pictures look like. So you want to just kind of have a little bit of a body and then a head. Whether you draw a circle or you draw the U, it's up to you. I ended up skipping the neck on most of them because there wasn't a point. They're so small you can hardly see it. So you can, I have this one, these here, they're actually really, really thick. So in some of these, or really wide, excuse me. So in some of these, I can actually draw two people together. So I'll do a couple of those where there's two people, but you want to be silly. Different types of hair. if your circle for your head becomes too small and you can't get a smile or any kind of mouth on there, just draw the eyes, because again, you're just being silly. You just want it to look like, I don't know, a little person. So have fun. So you see what I mean about not making these too small, and you don't want to make them too huge, because the bigger you have them, the more detail you have to put on the person. So I know you go kind of crazy after a while, but it's pretty fun. So just to let you know, you can use this as a border as well. You can use the little Polaroid idea as kind of a medallion in a section, or throw it into a design. If you have like a tree, you can hang a Polaroid from there, or if you draw a box, you can make it look like a refrigerator and put some Polaroids on it. You can do all sorts of funny things, but apparently today is National School Picture Day, so that's why we went that route. Anyway, I hope you had a good time with these designs today. Don't forget, we do have Zendoodle live in the library every Thursday from 4 to 5. If you wish to join, you just have to call the library and get on the list. Hope you have a great day.